Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at some things that we have done with our Heritage Ds to kind of make the implementation and usage of it a little bit faster and just make it easier for us to be able to use as well. So we will take a look. So we've really been enjoying these consoles and just kind of getting things figured out to make things a little bit faster for us. And we've set up a lot of the different modes and different just things that you can use to make things easier. We've set it up to where I've got a little world for me to where whenever I go to that, I can hit this button. It ends up making these end up being 1 through 16. You hit it again, it's 25 through 40. And then over on this other side, we've got it to where I've got the vocals and then some of the effects that I use the most over here. So when I'm doing that, it does make it to where pretty much most of the shows, everything I need is very quick, and I have some pop groups here still left open to be able to do things. We're doing a really weird thing that we'll show you in another video to where we're returning monitors from an M32 core back to here and then back out, but we'll make another video on that. But this video basically is going to be showing some stuff that we've been doing to speed up some other things. So I'll just go back into this mode, and then we will take a look at what's underneath right here. So after we put the console out, we have this little thing that's going to end up having an iPad that is already hooked up with an 1/8 inch cable. The reason this loop is here is just to keep it from going back out of the drawer. And then we have a bunch of little emergency things, Ethernet cables, flash drives, and all sorts of just random other stuff that's going to fit over here. So we have already implemented the next part here, which is a 15.6 inch touchscreen that's already hooked up to the screen that's up here. So there's 2 HDMI ports on the back of this console, and right now the first HDMI port, make sure I'm not lying to you, actually it's second. The second HDMI port is a duplication of the screen, and the first lets you see scenes and kind of a console meter overview. So I've been told that very soon, and we're looking forward to it, those are going to be configurable. So what I'd like to do is kind of have this end up being just an EQ. So then if I have a channel selected, I can very easily go down and adjust the cue, whatever I need to do, which let me use my right hand here. So you can touch, do the cue, move your EQ wherever you need to, make life easy. So right now we're gonna leave this here. We ended up having to do a few things to make this go in easily. So we've got a right angle adapter on this touch screen to where there's enough room here, and then this USB-C still has some room here and it's not super tight. These are really cool. I wish I could put a link on Amazon, but I think we've bought the last 6 of these things that they've had. Magnetic cover, the back of it's magnetic. So this thing isn't going anywhere even when this thing is stored the way it is vertically. So pretty cool, and I mean, it is tight in here. So the other thing that's cool about this, hopefully it will never happen, but if this touchscreen does go out, we can just run the whole console off this touchscreen. So you can access everything like you usually would. This is a 10-point gesture if you needed to. You can grab down here, pull this up, and you can turn these into the faders. So you can actually control your console using the touchscreen down here. So hopefully that would never happen, but if it does, we do have the touchscreen and we're ready to go. But whenever that update's implemented, I'm sure I'll find more uses than just the EQ over here. So then over here, let me pull out this. We have a chiclet style keyboard that has a backlight, and we even have the code written over here to how to change the light to where it's not just strobing through colors. And then since I used Pro 2 and Pro Series and Pro X for so long, there is the familiar trackball. So we've got some Velcro here just to keep these things in place. You can lay that there, move that around, life is good. And we also have a talkback mic, 58 with a switch, so we can end up blah, 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 turn it back off, and then go back into here if we need to. So make sure I don't have the cable do anything crazy. There's not a lot of room for this, which is one of the only downfalls, so I have to be careful with that. But pretty cool. So if we're going to naming, one thing we can do, we can use our trackball to go up here, click on naming if we don't want to reach up to touch the screen, then select the channel, and then after we selected the channel, we can type here and very quickly change this to whatever we want to, hit enter, do the rest of the names. Makes life pretty easy. So go ahead and change that back to input, I believe it was 44. And we're back. Or you can also type it over here, whatever you want to do. So this one was input 45. 125. So very useful for us to be able to do this whenever this mouse is back over in its little Velcro hold. It's not going to go anywhere. All this just folds up very easily. Get that mouse cable back into there. So at the end of the night, it's not a ton of disconnecting, reconnecting, blah, blah, blah. And also that screen is powered off the USB-A. So something that we did figure out here, and I'm gonna ask Tanner, which is laser etching some stuff for us. So which one of the USBs is keyboard?
This is to do keyboard and mouse and the touch screen.
Gotcha. And then the other one is just peripheral, I guess, for power and service port over there. That's cool. Man,
right now.
You look cool. So this little laser etcher thing is probably one of the coolest things we bought. So we'll just show you what he's about to do here. And he's going to end up burning our logo. And it just makes it to where people, hopefully, if they do take our stuff, at least they know it was ours. So the next thing we're going to show you in the next video is going to be how we're utilizing these AES 50 cards. And that one's kind of a backup for what we're doing. It's pretty cool. But back to what we've got on the drawers, we have our inputs already routed down through the bottom here for that iPad, and the input for the TalkBack mic. Everything's local. And we're just coming out of the HDMI 2. And I guess after seeing this, that Neutrik has an HDMI connector that has a barrel around it, which is kind of cool. So we did find out from a very reliable source with Midas, these are not hot swappable. Or not hot swappable, sorry. I guess that'd be hot plug-inable. I don't know how you would say that. So you can't plug in the HDMI cable or unplug it or the USBs while the console's on. There is the chance it will actually lock up the console. You'll still pass audio, but you'll have no control. So whatever you're gonna use, go ahead and have it plugged in before you turn it on. I think they're gonna be able to fix that with a firmware update. We'll have to see. So our lights here, these are actually some that we got from Germany. And so it's the Adam Hall group, which is kind of cool. The thing we like about them, there's a button. So instead of having to go into the menu, you can still go in the menu to brighten, do whatever you have to, but there's actually a button on the top to turn them on and turn them off. And since they're right angle, we can let them just kind of chill here with the console. So pretty cool. It's been an update that I think is going to be really good for us. We haven't got to use all of the new stuff that we put in the back, but hopefully it'll be cool. So yeah, the other thing that we did put in the front, I guess I could show you that, is a rack mountable UPS. So we've got this little guy up here. We'll turn it to where you can actually see the display. So it's not only a UPS for backup, it also shows we're using 57% load with the console and our battery capacity, runtime, blah, blah, blah. So the cool thing with that is not only does it give you battery backup, it's also brownout protection. So you've got under voltage and you've got over voltage protection. So we'll go back on the back here and we'll just kind of show you guys what happens if you were to unplug it. So we have a bunch of these plugged in, so make sure we're getting the right one. So we will unplug this one. You'll hear a little bit of noise, but our console's still working. And it'll start to beep. We've got about 9 to 10 minutes of runtime, and it's running good. Voltage still stays at 119, 120, which is what we want it to be. So pretty cool. So the main reason that we do have those backup power supplies is, I'm sure you noticed, this console takes a little bit of time to load. It is still much faster than some other companies that we have dealt with in the past, but it still takes some time. So same thing with our 9680s and 9650s. We've got the exact same Cyber Power. I believe these are the 500 series. I have to look it up and put the link below, but yeah, it says 500. And so the 500 watt gives you roughly about 9 to 10 minutes of runtime. These take a long time to boot up too. But if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe and just let us know if you have any questions, and we will keep shooting out videos to you.